Hello friends, my name is Atul Kherde and I am sharing with you a capsule from my Vitals series on data visualization. Now, data visualization nowadays is assuming tremendous importance because various decision making processes in corporates demand data very fast, and the enormous amounts of data which is available makes it very difficult to come to any sensible conclusions without converting that data into a usable form. So for that, this new practice of data visualization, it is getting enhanced, and a lot of new tools are coming into data visualization which will help us to make sense of this. So here, let's get inside this. So before getting into the data visualization part, actually, let us first understand what's the meaning of data. Now, data by itself is a representation of facts. So for example, you can have the names, addresses, dates of birth, and parents' names, telephone numbers, and a lot of things about the students. Now these are facts. So when the facts are represented in a table or a tabular form or in any system, that becomes data. Remember, representation of facts is data. So what do you do with this data? So when you ask a question on the data, you will get information. So for example, what is the date of birth of Swati? The response will be an information. By itself, data cannot do anything, but when we ask a query, when we run a query on the data, we get information. So what is the meaning of date of birth? Do you understand? So that concept of the date of birth is your knowledge. Now if I tell you that my date of birth is 1st January 1927, you cannot make sense of it unless you know what is the meaning of a date of birth. So all the concepts which we have in our mind which help us to make sense of the information, they constitute our knowledge. And then we come to wisdom, which is the ability to take decisions to deliver intended outcomes. And this is the highest level of comprehension of a particular data set. So remember, there are four levels of data: data, information, knowledge, and wisdom, and they go on increasing as we go to higher and higher levels of comprehension. We can take an example from any particular domain about this, but that example we leave for the exercise. We move on to the next one. So what is data visualization? Now see, we have to take whatever is contained in the data through these levels of information, knowledge, and wisdom so that it makes sense. And therefore, data visualization is defined as the practice of designing and creating easy to communicate and easy to comprehend what graphic or visual representations. So you can see on the screen there are some graphic representations and obviously they are visuals. So on the top we have a Venn diagram, then we have a line diagram, then we see the map of the United States and some other areas where things could be geographically delineated. There are bar charts and other ways of putting out this information. So these are graphic or visual representations of a large amount of complex quantitative and qualitative data and information. How do you do that? With the help of static, dynamic, or interactive visual items. So let us look at this. Static means those which are fixed, whatever you see on the screen. Dynamic means these change in response to incoming information, or they could change in response to various processes happening within the computer or inputs coming from outside the computer. Okay. And interactive means, for example, you can see the map of the United States here. You go to a particular state, click on Colorado, it will show you the details. You click on a particular district, it will show details of that district. So like this you should be able to navigate through that. Now that means interactive visual item. So this is how we do data visualization. See, it is a single definition. I have just broken it at multiple points to bring out the meaning clearly. So what is data visualization? Data visualization is the practice of designing and creating easy to communicate and comprehend graphic or visual representations of a large amount of complex quantitative and qualitative data with the help of static, dynamic or interactive visual items. Obviously, this is a skill, and when you say skill, it means you have to do it a number of times to make any sense. Thank you.